Hello again, this is Mick from Mick's Miniatures. Now, this is a short piece about my mind being in the gutter. For those who know me, that won't come as any surprise at all. But following on from rapping about rapping, I'd like to do a little bit about downpipes and gutters. On card models, it's very often difficult to get the downpipes looking correct. There's any number of proprietary things that you can buy to stick on afterwards, but this is a little bit about the method which I learned again from making Scalescenes models, unashamedly nicked from them, and I do use it in a lot of the buildings that I make. It has the added advantage of hiding those nasty joint corners. Now here's a card shell that I made in the description of building the boutique. Most of these demonstration pieces are based on that model, and it's made in the same way, just a shell really to carry the frontage. And this is the frontage I was working on in wrapping and wrapping. As you can see, all the texture's been applied, and those windowsills that I was working on. The side walls are quite narrow because this is a low relief building, and that's where the technique comes in for adding the downpipes at this stage. Okay, so I've made a duplicate set of side walls about 2mm wider than the width of the side wall, with that slight projection at the front. And what I'm going to do is glue some coloured paper. You can have your choice of colours obviously for these downpipes, but I tend to use a lot of black. You do see a lot of black guttering and downpipes in British architecture, and many others as well. And the coloured paper is wrapped around the projection, giving us plenty of room either side for that to be hidden when it's glued to the side. Wait for that to grip a little bit, fold it firmly and wrap it round like that. The side walls are then glued onto the shell, and as you can see, the coloured part projects out from the front of the building to give a good representation of a downpipe. The 2mm thickness in 00 gauge obviously gives us roughly a 6-inch pipe. And what we need next are the outer side walls, which are pieces of thin card. They've been wrapped with the stone of your choice, or colour, or brickwork. I find with low relief buildings, because they tend to be sandwiched in between other buildings or attached to other buildings, the actual outer of the side walls doesn't matter that much as long as there's no nasty white showing. So now the outer wall sandwich is complete, and we've got the pipework projecting on both sides. What I find very effective, and in keeping with my love of economy methods, whoops, don't knock the place about, Michael, is these clamps that you can buy from the pound shop or thrift shop, or whatever you want to call it in your part of the world. They're very, very useful, particularly if things are not quite as level as you thought, and they will allow a good clamp, good adhesion, and that all brings that sandwich nicely together to give the impression of the downpipe. And so to the gutter where my mind resides. I've taken a piece of card this shape. The inner section will fit between the walls of the shell, as I'll show you in a moment. But first of all, a bit more of that infamous wrapping. I've used a piece of paper which is the same colour as the downpipes to give a matching effect. This is 2mm card, so again I'm talking roughly 6-inch size gutter. As long as the front of it's covered, it doesn't particularly matter too much. I'm wrapping that round there and round there like that. A little bit of judicious trimming. Making sure that all important gutter end stays and there we've got the gutter, coloured both sides to match the downpipes. So here's the shell, and the gutter section is going to fit quite nicely in between like that, so that it's protruding just over the tops of the gutters so the water can run into them quite nicely. And this also forms a shelf on which the roof will sit at an angle, coming down just short of the gutters there. So there we are, guttering and downpipes applied. Just waiting for the roof section now, which will go on along here, but that's the subject of another video. I do have some techniques for producing realistic looking roof tiles rather than just the flat photographic type. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it some likes and maybe subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.